Hello, everyone out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to talk some more about Wicked, your movie, Wicked. A movie that you love. I don't love it. You love the movie. I don't love it. But it's important, yeah, whatever. It's not that bad of a movie. I thought it was okay. There obviously I got a lot to critique in there, but the movie did a lot of good things too. It surprised me a little bit. There's some things that happened in this movie, some of the acting, some of the storyline that I didn't see coming, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. Okay, I can see why the show was so popular. Okay, on Broadway, it's definitely got all the elements that you need for that. It's got some pretty good songs in there. Not all the songs are good, okay, but some of them are pretty good. Okay, the story's pretty compelling. Okay, I like the subject matter here, basically about an outsider trying to fit in. I like the fact that it's The Wizard of Oz. It's one of my favorite movies when I was a little kid. We watched it on Thanksgiving every year, back before there was streaming, before there was DVDs even. Hell, there wasn't even VHS when I was a toddler. VHS hadn't come out yet. I mean, it was like, I think only rich people had it or something back then. But yeah, it was a long time ago. Okay, but my parents loved that movie. My grandparents loved that movie. It's been around a long time. Obviously, Judy Garland, it's a classic. Okay, we watch it many times, and now I watch it with my son. It's a wonderful movie. Okay, so this is a continuation. That's a spin-off. Okay, but it's not authorized by the L. Frank Baum estate. Okay, so there's some things that they couldn't put in there because they don't have the copyright to. For example, the ruby slippers are not in this movie, and they're not in the book either because those are owned by MGM. Okay, those were created for the movie. Okay, it wasn't in the book. In the book, they were silver slippers. All right, so just things like that. Okay, some of it's copyrighted; they can't use it. But as far as making the main antagonist, the Wicked Witch of the West, making her the main character, making her the protagonist, okay, was a novel idea. It's very nuanced back then when this book was written in '95 when it was published. Okay, but now that's fucking every fucking show. Okay, I think The Sopranos did it. Okay, I mean they did it in the late '90s too. They made a villain the main character of the show, and then everyone else just ran off with that idea. Okay, The Shield. I don't know if you remember that show, The Shield, with Michael Chiklis. Okay, there was a show about a cop. He's an evil, corrupt cop, like Training Day, but the show was about him. He's the main character. Just stuff like that. You can even argue, like, say, like something like Sex and the City. They made these fucking whores, because that's what they are, whores. They made these whores. I've reviewed every episode of Sex and the City. Okay, it's on here. All right. I know my Sex and the City. Don't give me that shit. All right. Yeah, they made all these whores. This moderately attractive to completely unattractive women, middle-aged women, and make them the stars of their show. Promoting that lifestyle. And if that lifestyle doesn't work in real life, it doesn't matter because it's a TV show, right? So you don't have to worry about things like divorce, and custody and alimony and things like that, or diseases or any of that kind of shit. Because the show would do one episode on it and that was it. You never dealt with that topic again. And the fact that sorry, okay, I'm getting on a tangent here, all right, but if you want to know what I think about Sex and the City, all the videos are there. They're on this channel, okay. But right now we're talking about Wicked, right? No, I liked Sex and the City. Don't get me wrong, I liked it, but it was bullshit. It was bullshit. Men don't act that way, okay? Just like in the movie Wicked, okay. Everything about Wicked was created by gay men. Okay, just like Sex and the City was. Okay, I mean Candace Bushel wrote the book, but I mean a gay guy took over the whole show, and boom, that was it. All right, it catered to the gay audience as much as it catered towards straight women, middle-aged, unattractive women. Yeah. So and this show is no different. Okay, it was created by a guy. The book was written by a guy named Gregory Maguire. Okay, yeah, Gregory, who's gay. Yeah, he's gay. Okay, and it was adapted into a Broadway show by a man named Stephen Schwartz, who's also gay. Okay, and it's very successful. Okay, he managed to put a lot of music in there and stuff. Get the dancing and all that. Made some changes from the book. A few. One of the biggest changes they made from the book to the show, to the Broadway show, to the movie, was Elphaba, our main character, the Wicked Witch of the West, having her be the chosen one. Okay, the chosen one. Now movies do this all the goddamn time. It pisses me off. I'm tired of fucking seeing it. Okay, we're talking like The Hunger Games. Okay, The Matrix. Star Wars, okay, these are all like, Mortal Kombat even, all right, the chosen one. All of them deal with the chosen one, You know, like they're the only one that can do it. Okay, they were handpicked by whatever the creator to be the one to save everybody. I know it's a kind of a Jesus thing too, but yeah, and this is it. Elphaba's the chosen one. They turned her into the chosen one. That way, they can show her with all these incredible powers that nobody else seems to have. But she didn't earn them. She was just born that way. Okay, along with her green skin, she was born with telekinesis. Okay, and she can kill people easily with her powers, but she hasn't quite mastered how to do it. And the fact that nobody's afraid of her, nobody would like try to lock her up or anything, you know, it says something here. Okay, I think it's story incompetence as far as transition it from a novel, which she was not the chosen one in the book. She actually earned her abilities by going to school and practicing her sorcery. That's how she got to throw fireballs and stuff like that. And that's how she got to harness the poppies to make people fall asleep. Okay, she got all that from school in the book. She learned it at school at Shiz. Okay, she perfected her profession, okay, which was sorcery. And then when she dropped out of Shiz, she went off on her own and basically became like an Antifa, you know, like a terrorist for animal rights or whatever, you know. And they were planning a coup to overthrow the wizard and all that stuff. When then she harnessed her, she perfected it at that time. She went off on her own. Okay, and that's when she really cracked down on her sorcery. That's how she's able to fly. That's how she got the broomstick and all that kind of stuff, you know. It came later on. She had to earn those abilities. In this movie, she doesn't. She's just born that way. And the fact that nobody really takes it seriously, like you see in the movie Carrie, right? And I talked about this in the last video a little bit, but remember the movie Carrie? It's a 1976 movie. Stephen King wrote the book and they turned it into a movie. Sissy Spacek played Carrie. Okay, and John Travolta was in it, Nancy Allen was in it, even Betty Buckley was in it. Okay, that's the stepmom from Eight Is Enough. Even she was in it. Okay, she played the girls' PE teacher. Okay, but Carrie was also, you could say, the chosen one. Okay, because she had telekinesis. Okay, which started off when she got her first period. That's when she started developing telekinesis. Okay, and one thing she learned, she kept it a secret though. Unlike Elphaba, where the whole town, all of Munchkinland knew that Elphaba had these powers because she started using them when she was a little girl. Okay, unlike that, Carrie kept her powers a secret. Nobody knew. Nobody knew what she could do. It was a secret she kept. She didn't want people to know about it. Okay, because she was constantly getting bullied by the other girls and the other boys at school. And then finally, they played a big practical joke on her. Okay, and they fixed the school election so that she would win prom queen and go up there with the most popular guy. Okay, and then they would throw pig blood on her in front of the whole graduating class. Okay, to embarrass her, to humiliate her. Okay, she already felt like crap, and she thought this was the one day that everyone was nice to her, and now she realized that it was all a joke at her expense. Okay, so naturally, all of her insecurities, all of her, her suicidal thoughts, her mom abused her emotionally, physically too. All of that, all that repression that she had to go through, all of it just came out in anger. And she decided, okay, she's going to unleash her power on everybody in the goddamn gymnasium, okay, at the prom. And she killed everybody there, okay? But she kept her abilities a secret. That's the difference. Elphaba can do that too. She already displayed that, okay, when she lost her temper, okay, right there at Shiz University on the first day of class, okay, where she just levitated everything, all the benches, everyone's drinks, even her sister who was in a wheelchair, she levitated all of them up in the air like, and everybody saw her do it. Now, Madame Morrible, who's the sorcery professor, she's part of the faculty there at Shiz University. She took credit for that. I'm the one that did it because I want to keep you on your toes, expect the unexpected. That's the lesson here, that kind of thing. But everybody knows, even Glinda knows that was all a lie. Okay, no, Elphaba did that. She's dangerous. She's dangerous, okay? Glinda even saw in the last scene that I reviewed here in the last video, Elphaba lost her temper with Glinda as her new roommate because Glinda only gave her a tiny corner of the room to be hers and the rest of it belonged to Glinda with all of her clothes, which are all pink, by the way, and all of her luggage and stuff. And Elphaba thought that wasn't fair, and they got into a little spat, and Elphaba lost her temper, and she flung like a rock or something out the window. And Glinda saw her do it. Boom! She just smashed that window with her mind. That's not the kind of person you want to piss off. It's one thing Carrie where nobody knew she could do that, but everybody knows that Elphaba can do this. Why would you want to piss off someone like that? Why would you consider to insult someone like that? Okay? She's already been insulted by everybody. She's got green skin. She's already an outsider, an outcast. Why would you insult her knowing that she can hurt you? You see what I mean? That wouldn't happen. Realistically, that wouldn't happen. Now, I can understand if this was a wizard school like a Harry Potter, where everybody can do magic, and some students are stronger at it than others, but there's nobody in the school who can do magic. Okay? Except maybe Madame Morrible. Okay? And nobody has telekinesis. Nobody has super strength. Nobody has flight ability. Nobody has invisibility or being able to phase through objects. Nobody has that. The only one with powers that I've seen in this movie is Elphaba. And her powers are pretty goddamn incredible. Okay, that would raise a lot of red flags. Okay, she would be considered a threat to the other students. She wouldn't be like someone that like the student that everybody makes fun of. You see what I mean? She wouldn't be that. She would be an outcast. People would be afraid of her. Okay, they would get over the whole let's make fun of her. No, stay away from her. Okay, she can hurt you. And the faculty would know that too, and her parents would know that too. Okay, she would get kicked out of school. They'd put her in a special institution. Just get her the fuck away from the other students, because she's going to lose her temper one day and someone's going to make fun of her and she's going to kill somebody. Okay, but nobody takes that seriously here. Why? Because it was written by a gay guy, maybe. Because it takes away from the real story, which that she's oppressed by the white. I mean the patriarch or whoever. The normal people oppress her because she's different. You see what I mean? She was born different, just like gay guys are. Just like ugly girls are. Well, see, I just named the target audience right there. There's the audience right there for this movie. Okay, Elphaba fits into that thing right there. Yeah, everyone's gay in this movie too. Even the straight people are gay. All right, but so I thought that was kind of dangerous. It was kind of stupid. It's a big plot hole that never gets resolved. Why the hell would you have someone that dangerous going to your school? I mean, if you were going to school with somebody who had incredible abilities that could hurt you, especially if they lose their temper. Or even at their whim. Maybe they're just in a good mood and they're just like, hey, you know what? I think I'm just going to throw that couch across and see how far I can do it. And it accidentally lands on somebody. That person is dead. It's not a joke. Why would you have a person like that around you? You wouldn't. Nothing to do with what she looks like. Everything to do with what she can do to you. You see what I mean? She'd be dangerous. And nobody treats her like she's dangerous. You see what I mean? They just treat her like she's an annoyance or ugly to look at. No one treats her like she's fucking dangerous. Like she can kill you. You see what I mean? And this isn't really that much of a kiddie movie. Okay, I mean, it is in a sense they want kids to watch it, but I mean, there's a lot of adult themes in here, I just don't think, like anybody can see through. I think a kid could easily see through that. Why would you put a dangerous person like that, someone who cannot control their own abilities, in school with a bunch of students that don't have those abilities? See what I mean? All right, moving right along. I'm Diego. I'll give you a straight man's point of view. If you don't like it, tough shit. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I think about this movie. Luckily for you, I don't think this movie's all bad. I've seen a lot worse. I've reviewed a lot worse movies than this. Okay, this is a lightweight. Okay, and there's some good stuff in here. There really is. All right, like I said, I'm a big fan of The Wizard of Oz. I love the whole mythology of that. L. Frank Baum was a genius when he wrote that story. There's a lot of good things in there. Okay, by the way, if you have a chance, in 1990, I think it was, I think it was 1990, there was a made-for-TV movie. Okay, called The Dreamer of Oz. It might even be on YouTube. Okay, it stars John Ritter, plays L. Frank Baum. Okay, and it's a movie about how he met his wife, how he created The Wizard of Oz. It's like a step-by-step process. Okay, John Ritter, yes, Jack Tripper from Three's Company. Okay, like I said, he did this in 1990, and Annette O'Toole is in it. That plays his wife. She plays his wife. Okay, and Rue McClanahan actually plays his mother-in-law. Okay, yes, from the Golden Girls. Okay, she's in it too. It's a made-for-TV movie, The Dreamer of Oz. Okay, very well done, and it's a 2-hour movie. Okay, and it's the story about L. Frank Baum, about how he met his wife, how he had his family, how he got into the publishing business, how he created The Wizard of Oz. It's a pretty good idea. It's a pretty good story there. And it ends with it's bookended by his wife, being a very old lady and going to the premiere of the 1939 Wizard of Oz movie. She's there on the red carpet. Very old lady. Nobody recognizes her. Nobody takes her picture, but there's one reporter that notices her and recognizes her and knows exactly who she is. She's like, aren't you the widow of L. Frank Baum? She's like, yeah. And then she tells the story about how they met, how he created The Wizard of Oz, and how all those things happened. It's a really good story. It's a really good movie. I highly recommend you watch it. I ain't going to spoil it for you here, but it's really good. I actually have it with my... I had the, I think it's a 60th anniversary, or 50th anniversary, a DVD, or it might be the 75th anniversary. Let me see. Yeah, it's a 70th anniversary. Sorry, I have it right there. It's the 70th anniversary DVD collection of The Wizard of Oz. There's like 6 DVDs in there. One of those DVDs in there is the story I'm telling you about, The Dreamer of Oz. Okay, very, very good. You find out how he based all of his characters on, who he based them on. How did he create the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, Glinda, Elphaba? I guess he didn't call her Elphaba. Okay, this guy Gregory Maguire called her Elphaba. Okay, but all that's explained in there. Even Dorothy. And that's, to me, that was actually the most heartbreaking part, was how he created Dorothy, because Dorothy was someone he really knew. Okay, but I ain't gonna spoil it for you. Okay, but you should watch that. Okay, I think it's on YouTube, or you can get the DVD. It's part of the 70th anniversary of the MGM classic with The Wonderful Wizard of Oz movie. Blah blah blah. Okay, got that out of the way. Let's get back to this. Okay, Elphaba, the Wicked. All right. So anyway, when we left off last time was the scene I just told you about. They're roommates. Elphaba is the roommate of Glinda. Glinda does not want her there, but she had to put her in there. They have to share the room because the professor, Madame Morrible, the sorcery professor, accepted Elphaba into her private sorcery seminar that she does to only special students. Glinda wants to get in this class, but she got rebuffed by Madame Morrible, so she's hoping that Elphaba, since she's so nice and let her have a little corner of the room to Elphaba, that in return Elphaba will put in a good word for Glinda and get her into the same seminar that Elphaba is in. Okay, but obviously Elphaba and them do not get along. Glinda is very narcissistic. She's very full of herself. Okay, she's all about, and Ariana Grande, I don't really listen. I'm too old to be listening to her music or any of that kind of stuff, all right? But I know a little bit about her fucking personal life and stuff, just because the whole fucking world knows about it. Okay, it's on social media every fucking day. She brags herself about who she's fucking and who she's not. Okay, she'll do it herself. Okay, so I don't really feel bad talking shit about her. She's a public figure. Okay, and she's got a long dating history. Okay, well, I mean, she looks like she needs to fucking eat some food. Now, I know that girls always think that they're too fat and they starve themselves, makes them throw up, bulimia and all that, anorexia. I get it. Okay, it's a problem that women have. All right, I get that. But this girl looks unhealthily skinny. Okay, like not even attractive skinny. Okay, she looks very unhealthily skinny. Okay, and in case you haven't noticed, Ariana Grande, I think is 31 years old. Okay, she's had some work done on her face. Okay, so obviously she had it done in her 20s. Okay, she's got a nose job. And she's got a chin job, definitely. Okay, and she's probably gonna get more the older she gets. All right, but her chin does not look normal. Her nose does not look normal. Okay, luckily I don't think she's done anything else. Maybe she did something with her eyes. I don't know, but these women always do the same thing. They always just keep going. They can't just stop at a little alteration. They got to keep going. Fucking Melanie Griffith. Okay, Famke Janssen. Okay, fucking Cher, Madonna. Okay, all these women look like fucking beasts now. They all look like fucking orcs. Okay, and it's sad because they all used to be pretty. Meg Ryan, oh my God, America's sweetheart. Now look at her. You can't look at her now. It's gross. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, and Ariana Grande is on that path as well. Okay, which is sad. Okay, but she did it to herself. And I can't really feel sorry for her. All right, but anyway, they play her off as the hot girl and stuff. She's the prettiest one in the school, and I don't think that really she is. Okay, I'm really that attracted to her. Honestly, I'm not. Okay, she has no figure. Okay, she's got skinny legs, got no butt, no tits. Okay, but she acts like she's the hottest girl in the world. Oh, wow, isn't that weird? Because don't us guys, if you're watching this, don't we already get enough of that in the real fucking world? And then we got to see this in a movie too. Like, no. But anyway, moving right along. Okay, so she's there. She's Glinda, the supposed good witch of the north. Although she's never called that in the movie. All right, and they don't get along. Her and Elphaba do not get along. All right, and like I said, Elphaba got mad at her and smashed the window. Okay, to the terrace. Okay, and Glinda didn't even raise an eyebrow. She's just like, oh, like she didn't care. Okay, this girl can kill you, and she doesn't care. Okay, the thought never even occurred to her that maybe if I keep making fun of her and pissing her off, she'll probably maybe pick something up and throw it at me with her mind, or pick me up like she picked up her sister in the wheelchair straight up in the air, and maybe throw me out of the fucking the 30th floor of the building. You know what I mean? Like, this thought never occurs to her that this could happen. Okay, because the movie doesn't want you to think about that, but it's so fucking obvious. See, if a straight guy had written this, they would have said something about that, but See, a straight guy wrote Carrie, and it's fucking it's horror. It's horror. That's a horror story, okay? But nobody even goes there in this movie. All right. So anyway, at night, okay. So obviously they don't like each other. Okay. Now later on that night, okay, to continue my review, later on that night they start writing letters to, I guess, their home, okay, or to somebody. I don't know. I don't know who the hell Alpha will be writing to. I mean, her sister, the only person that loves her is her sister. Her sister is in the same school as her. She can just go down the hall and talk to her. So what? Who's her dad? Her dad fucking hates her. So who's she writing to? Her mom's dead. So who's she writing to? It's not explain. It's like there's a radio station at this school. Really, Oz has a radio station? Because there's like someone doing the news, broadcasting, social events and shit. Okay, but we don't see a cell phone. We don't see a radio box or nothing. But we hear it. It's like it's a radio, but it's not television. There's no TV. It's a radio broadcast. Where's the radio? It's never explained. They have newspapers in Oz. Newspapers, like the publishing company. They have a printing press, an editor, a journalist. They have all that stuff. Where's the newspaper? I mean, this school has a faculty. They've got a dean. They've got professors. Like, where do they get that from? Like I thought Oz was supposed to be another dimension or something, right? Like, anyway, it's not explained. Okay. So anyway, so at night they write letters home. Okay, and like I say, who the fuck is Alpha writing to? There's nobody home who wants to fucking read her letters. Okay. They keep each other awake with their frustration at each other, so they can't sleep because they don't like the person sleeping on the other side of the room, right? And then we hear this song called "What Is This Feeling." I'm not gonna fucking sing it. I don't even remember the song, honestly. Okay. And during the montage of them not liking each other, okay, they take turns moving each other's stuff. It's just petty stuff. Glinda leaves when she comes back. All of her shit's been moved to one corner. And Elphaba took over the rest. And so Glinda sabotages Elphaba's stuff when Elphaba's not there. Just this is petty fucking back and forth shit, passive aggressive shit. They're moving each other's shit while the other one's not there. Now, all the students like Glinda. It's already established that she's popular. She has her two cronies, Shen Shen, a fat white girl, and Fanny. No, I'm not making that up. An Asian gay guy. Yeah. Okay. They follow her everywhere. They lick her asshole. All right. Anyway, so all the students like Glinda, and they all hate Elphaba because she's green. Okay. And she's kind of shy. She doesn't talk to anybody really. She keeps to herself. Okay, and they're in competition with each other. Elphaba and Glinda are in competition for everything. They even fight over the best seat in the class. Okay, that kind of thing. Very petty. Okay, especially like I said, classroom seats. Glinda is jealous of Elphaba because Elphaba is in very well with Madame Morrible, the sorcery professor. Okay, she's taking private classes with Madame Morrible. She's doing a very good job. Obviously, Madame Morrible is very pleased with Elphaba. She finally found a student, okay, worthy of her lessons. And this pisses off Glinda because Glinda's whole purpose of coming to the university was to sign up to be tutored by Madame Morrible to take her sorcery class. She wants to be a sorceress, okay? And Madame Morrible does not want her, but she wants Elphaba. And that pisses off Glinda, okay, to no end, all right? Because Elphaba is experiencing the lessons that she wishes she could experience, and vice versa. Elphaba wishes she had friends and stuff, and she doesn't, okay? So that's going on here. Okay, Elphaba is the one that gives Glinda her Wicked Witch. There's a scene where they come home back to their room, okay, and it's because Elphaba just got like an award or something, or some sort of a praise from Madame Morrible. So they look at each other, and Elphaba is happy as hell. Okay, she's just like, sorry, I cannot do Margaret Hamilton. Okay, the late great Margaret Hamilton. I cannot do her justice. But Cynthia Erivo did pretty good with that laugh. It kind of sounded like Margaret Hamilton, her wicked laugh from The Wizard of Oz. Okay, she does the laugh. Okay, which she's famous for. All right. So that's going on here. Okay, blah blah blah. Yeah, she does the laugh. Okay. The next scene that we have here is they're inside a different classroom. Okay, this is Dr. Dillamond's class. Now, Dr. Dillamond is a talking goat. We saw him in the faculty. He was part of the greeting for the first day of school. He's a talking goat. He wears faculty robes and glasses. The talking goat. Voiced by Peter Dinklage. He's a history professor at Shiz. Dr. Dillamond. Okay, and in the classroom there, when he's talking to students, okay, he mispronounces Glinda's name. Now, Glinda's name right now in the movie is Galinda. Galinda, that's her name, not Glinda. She doesn't change it until later on. Her name is Galinda. And the goat, Dr. Doberman, says Glinda, like that, okay? Well, this pisses off Glinda because he's not saying her name correctly. All the other professors say it correctly. Why can't you? It's not that difficult, you know, doing that kind of a thing, right? And she tells him that all the professors pronounce it correctly, right? Now, Elphaba, who's also in the same class, corrects Galinda and tells him, and, you know, she tells her that, she's telling her that he pronounces her name wrong because he has a goat's vocal cords, okay? He lacks the upper front teeth that human beings have. That's why he pronounces Glinda's name wrong. He's not doing it on purpose. It's just the way his mouth is designed. All right. And of course, you know, this is considered passive aggressive behavior, which it is. You know, Elphaba tells Glinda like maybe he's just different. What's wrong with being different? You know, and then Glinda says something smart like, oh yes. The artichoke is fully steamed. You know, like that, you know, just the way girls fucking fight with each other. I know guys don't do that. We use these. We don't do any of this shit. All right. So anyway, as Dr. Dillamond starts teaching them that recently, there has been a rejection of animal culture. Okay, so recently, all the animals, the talking, intelligent animals in Oz, have been slowly persecuted. Okay, we're talking like, you know, Warsaw Ghetto, okay, in Poland, and during World War II, right before World War II, that kind of thing. All right, so it doesn't just start off right away. Okay, it starts off with first, you know, they start, you know, there's many levels before you can totally hate a race, okay, or in this case a species. You start off slow. You start off with like, you know, a little slander here and there, and then a couple of hey, you know, maybe the animals just don't like doing things the right way. And then it turns into like, you know, well, you know, it looks to me like the animals don't want to be part of our society for some reason. Then it looks like, hey, I don't think the animals like us very much. They seem to be doing bad things to us. It looks that way. And then it's like, oh, look at that animal over there just did something bad to a human. Okay, he's gonna have to be punished, you know. And then it's gonna be like, oh my God, there are animals everywhere are just persecuting humans. We need to do something to put a stop to that because nobody should be treated that way. And the next thing you know, they're rounding them up to the fucking concentration camps. Okay, that's how it's done. It's all done through PR. Okay, but when you do it this slowly over time, people start believing it, and they start going along with it. That's how the Nazis took over Germany. It wasn't overnight. It was slowly, you know, through 1,000 cuts. All right, that's how it happened, and that's what's happening in Oz right now. Slowly, all the animals are being persecuted. They're being canceled, what we call canceled today. You know, they're disappearing. Yeah, they're disappearing. And they're starting to get fired from their jobs. They're starting to not get hired. They're starting to not be welcomed. Okay, and Dr. Dillamond is pointing this out. You know, that is a rejection of animal culture. Okay, and Elphaba points out that this is because of a great drought. Apparently, recently there was a great drought. You know, and when people are scared and they're hungry, they start looking for someone to blame. So when times go bad, people look at each other, start looking for someone to blame. Okay, you know, so literally, Dr. Dillamond is a scapegoat. Get it? He's a literal scapegoat. Just the fact that I'm saying that out loud, it reminds me of a scene that I didn't talk about, but it's earlier in the movie. You remember in the very beginning of this movie, when they were showing that the Wicked Witch is her hat on the floor under a puddle of water, and then the camera moves over through Oz, and then you see the waterfalls, you see the flying monkeys. Well, there was a rainbow there. Okay, there's a rainbow. You see the rainbow there, and the camera goes over the rainbow. And once it goes over the rainbow, then you see the lion, the scarecrow, Dorothy, Toto, and the Tin Man walking along the yellow brick road towards Oz, towards the Emerald City, which you see in the distance, okay? So that scene right there, I didn't catch it at the time, but that scene right there was literally somewhere over the rainbow. You see? Well, that's what this is, okay? Dr. Dillamon is literally a scapegoat, okay? So while he continues his lesson, he flips over the chalkboard. It's a two-sided chalkboard. He flips it over to teach them. I guess there's something else supposed to be written on this side. When he flips it over, there's hate speech on there. Yes, hate speech in Oz. All right. Someone has written on the blackboard, "Animals should be seen and not heard." Well, clearly, this is a very negative emotional impact on Dr. Dillamon. Clearly, this is what would be considered hate speech here in the real world. Racist hate speech, and this is, I guess, specious hate speech. Okay, animals should be seen and not heard. Okay, well, obviously that's very offensive. If I was a talking animal with intelligence, I would be offended too. Okay, and obviously nobody in the class knows who did it, or if they did know, they ain't saying nothing about it. But Elphaba takes this pretty hard. Okay, because she recognizes persecution when she sees it. She's been persecuted her whole life. Okay, now I think for the first time. Even in a way that her own sister Nessa Rose is crippled, but Nessa Rose is not persecuted the way Elphaba is, because Nessa Rose does not have green skin. She just can't walk. Okay, so Elphaba recognizes persecution, and I think she's starting to realize that, hey, you're not the only one, being marginalized here. You're not the only one being treated like shit. Okay, and I think Elphaba starts to realize that, like, I'm not the only one. It's not just me. They're not just making fun of me, and marginalizing me. They're doing it to the animals too, the talking animals. Okay, and the class, of course, is shocked. Nobody fesses up to doing it. Okay, he dismisses the entire class, and he obviously, Dr. Dillamon gets emotional. He actually knocks over a vase which had flowers in there. Poppies were in there. Okay, he accidentally knocks it over, but he tells the class to get the hell out anyway. Elphaba does not leave the classroom. Okay, she actually goes down there and starts picking up the broken vase and starts helping him. Okay, and he tells her, no, just go with your friends. Okay, leave me alone. And she tells him, I don't have any friends. Which is kind of sad, but it's true. Elphaba realizes that she's not the only one, being persecuted. Okay, when she tells him that she has no friends, he offers her his paw or whatever in friendship. Okay, so she finally makes a friend in Dr. Dillamon. Okay, it's a very touching scene. Like I said, not everything in this movie sucks. So there's some good stuff in here, and I think this was a very powerful scene. It showed that when the shit hits the fan, okay, when people start getting persecuted in real life, okay, most people are not going to step up and put a stop to it. Like nobody in this classroom ratted anybody out on who wrote that on the blackboard. Okay, nobody really cared. Galinda had no respect for her professor at all. She did not talk to Dr. Dillamon the way she would talk to, say, Madame Morrible. You see what I mean? And the fact that the classroom just wants to go with the flow and they don't want to like step up and do something. Okay, this is the kind of message that woke university professors love to tell. This is the scary bedtime stories that Ivy League woke professors tell their students. Don't ever end up like this. If you see something wrong, it is your job to correct it, to force behaviors. That's where you get fucking like stuff like anti-racism for There's no such thing as anti-racism. There's racism, and there's no racism. That's it. There's no such thing as anti-racism. Okay, and and this is the kind of thing, the scary stories they tell students to weaponize them. To get, to gaslight them, to get that anger cranking up here so that when they leave the university, they can go form their Antifa and start burning down cities and taking over parts of Seattle, and stuff like that. Okay, that's where it comes from the universities. Okay, so of course, a woke author who wrote this, okay, and a woke stage production theater director who made the Broadway show of this, of course, they're going to go that way. Of course they want to indoctrinate the teenagers that watch this, okay? Because you're being persecuted. Therefore, you have the right to do whatever the hell you want. You see what I mean? Okay, this is exactly what the university professors love to talk about. All right? Social justice, and yeah, and it's in the fucking, of course it is. Of course it's in the movie. That's the point of the movie. It's the social justice. Elphaba, that's what makes her the hero. She's a social justice warrior. Get it? All right. Okay, I'm going to stop my review before I lose my cool. All right. But I'll be back shortly to continue my review of Wicked. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.